And so we had to break it down to specific things, and it turns out we are in the same place, whether we are in the US, whether we are in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So I was so excited watching it and seeing other women on other continents having the same thought like I have. Because I haven't really told anybody apart from the team that we are planning the conference with, and for this to come out at another conference in another continent was a
It's
little
beautiful.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I woke up excited.
Because you're doing the right thing.
Yeah. So how are you?
Bragging rights.
Because last night was great. It was a great night for goals. So hope you enjoyed last night because we'll be talking about all of that. And then we may open the phone lines if I can come up with a topic for us to discuss. But we may open the phone lines. But please feel free to come to us on social media.
Yes,
Valentine.
please. We're streaming live on YouTube, so you can join there. Type Smooth FM Lagos in the search box and subscribe. Send messages through WhatsApp to 0809 444 0981. Let's start with this first story about Super Falcons. Charity begins at home, they say. Super Falcons head coach Randy Waldrum says it's important for his side to get a good result against the Black Queens of Ghana in Lagos. The Super Falcons will host the Black Queens on Wednesday, that's today, in Lagos for the first leg of their double header for the African Women's Championship qualifiers. It is important for us to get a good win at home and then go to Accra and play like warriors. These are two battles that we must be ready for, he said. The Super Falcons just have to be at the AFCON and the World Cup, and they are ready to give these two matches their all.
Okay, so huge deal today. Nigeria is playing for the African Women's Cup of Nations. That will be taking place in Morocco in June. I think June next year. June, July next year. So we have to. This is the qualifier. Now here's what's tricky about the qualifier for the women. So it's done regionally now, as opposed to just put us in a basket and pick. So what it means is that West Africans will play for West Africa and qualify from West Africa before they can get to the African Women's Cup of Nations. And what's also tricky is that it's from the African Women's Cup of Nations that you will qualify for the World Cup, for the 2023 World Cup. Yeah, you don't play World Cup qualifiers. From the African Cup of Nations, you qualify for the 2023 World Cup. That's what they're doing for the women now. So if Nigeria does not make it to African Women's Cup of Nations, there is no way we are going to the World Cup, because it's the semi-finalists of the AFCON and then the third place best team will now play a qualifier that will go to the FIFA World Cup. So if you don't even get to AFCON, how do you want to go to World Cup?
Exactly.
So it's a really dicey one. And now, so you have to understand that there are regions where women's football is really developed. In West Africa, women's football is quite developed than in other parts of Africa. So Nigeria is going to have to beat Ghana first. Remember, Nigeria struggled against South Africa in Aisha Buhari Cup, and I saw the Ghanaian team that came for the Aisha Buhari Cup was a tough one. And I know their coach, Messi Tago, she was also one of our speakers some years back at LIS. Okay. She's a fantastic she was a fantastic referee, then became coach. I mean, if you see the way she drills her girls, she's different. So that's a strong team to try and beat. So we play them today at Onikon. So for those of you that are wondering what will be happening there, the Super Falcons are in action at the African qualifiers at Onikon. Now they play them today, then they go to Ghana and try to beat them. After if they manage to beat Ghana in this round, the next team they will have to face will be either one of Cote d'Ivoire or Niger, because Cote d'Ivoire is facing Niger. So if Cote d'Ivoire beats Niger or Niger beats Cote d'Ivoire, that's our next opponent I will be facing. So it's a tricky one for the Super Falcons, who have brought in inconsistent results, so especially recently. So it's a tough one. But the most important thing is that Nigeria has to go for AFCON. I don't know how they are going to do it. Whether they are going to beg, pray, fast, whatever it is. Today they must win this one in Lagos, and that's very important for us. So it's an important qualifier for the women, and they need to do what they need to do.
That's true. Thank you so much for that. Now, in the latest episode of the Ben Simmons saga, the Philadelphia 76ers have suspended their all-star point guard for one game. Kyle Neubeck of the Philly Voice, Simmons said actually that Simmons won't play in Wednesday's season opener against the New Orleans Pelicans for conduct detrimental to the team. In addition to the suspension, Simmons was fined $1.4 million for missing 4 preseason games and has also received numerous fines for missing practices and other commitments. The suspension comes after Simmons was kicked out of practice on Tuesday for, according to the official, not being engaged with the team.
Okay, so in case you didn't know, the NBA kicked off last night. Big game, huge game. Lakers Warriors, and Lakers started like a house of fire. They're just strolling through the Staples Center, playing their own first quarter. They were dominating. Second quarter they were dominating. By halftime they're feeling like the Lakers. It's showtime. Then Golden State Warriors said, "Well, like there's still 2 more quarters." Those 2 more quarters, they outplayed, out-defended, and outscored the LA Lakers on their home court. For me, it wasn't. It was the fact that the Lakers have done so much to bring in other superstar names, but still, it came down to the old school people in Lakers, Anthony Davis and LeBron James getting the points. Russell Westbrook was hitting bricks. I haven't seen that kind of thing before. Yes, I understand that Russell Westbrook will have some nights where he is very poor at jumpers, and he was poor at jumpers yesterday. Hit only 1 of 7. But when you see him with the fast breaks, he knows how to get into the paint. He knows how his ball movement is not poor. I mean, because he's athletic, he's fast.
Yeah.
He was off color yesterday. So, I mean, some people said maybe because he played a lot with the second team, so Rajon Rondo as opposed to LeBron James, that's why he's not doing well. But you see, the reason why they paired him with Rajon Rondo is because Rajon Rondo is always going to pass the ball. LeBron James is going to take it to the rim. So if LeBron is taking it to the rim, that means Russell Westbrook will have nothing to do. So Frank Vogel played him with Rajon Rondo, who can pass the ball, and he still wasn't putting them away. So again, Russell, the reason why they brought you here is for showtime. We didn't see any show last night, so really tricky one. But huge fantasy season has started, so again, no sleep for Tega. But what's the big news here for Ben Simmons is, so Ben Simmons is the player. Last season, everybody thought the Sixers were going to do really great. They have the great team, but Ben Simmons couldn't knock down his shots. And I remember when Kobe said it, in 2018, that if Ben Simmons is going to be any kind of great player, he's going to have to go to practice by himself 2 hours at least before people come in. He should be practicing how to knock down his shots from every angle on the court. He didn't listen to Kobe, and so he was disappointing in the playoffs. And everybody talked about it. Everybody talked about it, and eventually when they lost, even his teammates now started talking about it. So it became a huge deal. People were saying, "Why are you throwing your teammates under the bus?" But the whole world knew that he was the was the weak link.
Yeah.
So Ben Simmons has been carrying that. He's trying to find who they could trade him to. The problem with a player like that is that no other team wants to buy him, because if they're looking at you like a player that is troublesome and is not even ready to put in the work, I don't care how skillful you are, nobody's going to buy indiscipline and put in their backyard. Nobody has time for that. So it was a struggle to trade him. Okay, so now you're on the team, and Doc Rivers had said if he puts in the work, I will play him. He'll be back in rotation. So Doc Simmons said to him yesterday, go and join the defensive drill. Just take part in the defensive drill. When you finish that, we'll do other things. He refused. Doc Simmons told him first time, he ignored Doc Simmons. So Simmons told him second time, he ignored Doc Simmons. Doc Simmons threw him out of the place. My friend, get out. I have a son your age and he's already playing in the NBA. Get out. So he got out. He was kicked out of practice, and he's going to pay a fine. For me, the big issue is I don't understand how you're looking to be traded. I don't understand how you can't even make your shots, and then you don't want to practice. This show up for preseason games, giving your teammates attitude, even when they're calling him on the phone to just talk to him man to man. He's not talking to anybody. This is how careers die. Quickly.
Yes.
So you better learn. Or I mean, this is only game one, but I know who Doc Rivers is. He'll just take you out of rotation. End of career.
Very quickly. Emeka from Ikeja says CAF is not serious, so Nigeria or Ghana will miss out.
Or Cote d'Ivoire says.
Or Cote d'Ivoire. It says while the likes of Libya might be there,
yes,
it can't happen in Europe. Emeka from Ikeja, thank you for that message. Now, let's talk about Mo Salah and his recent activity. He says he continued his blistering run of form on Tuesday by scoring twice in a 3-2 victory over 10-man Atletico Madrid as Liverpool took charge of Group B in the Champions League. Now, Jurgen Klopp was quoted as saying, "The dirty 3 points are often the most important, and they were dirty tonight. That wasn't our best football, but it was an important step."
It's important. I like the way he said it, the dirty 3 points. But I also remember how the same Jurgen Klopp was criticizing the same Atletico Madrid for the way they play. Oh, they're sitting too deep. Oh, they are not letting us play football. Yesterday, they also they had to play dirty because Atletico Madrid was about to kick them out.
Yeah.
Now, here's how the game went. The game starts in Madrid. Looks like Liverpool had everything going up for them. Mo Salah gets the first goal, and just as they're still celebrating and the fans are saying, okay, maybe our team can settle down, Naby Keita scores the second goal. So Liverpool is 2 goals up, and they had, I think, 72% possession of the ball. Atletico Madrid does not need ball possession. In fact, they are the one team that I know can play without the ball. And so, 72% ball possession, 2 goals up. Atletico Madrid came back into that game, made it 2-2 before halftime. They had, and that was what was killing Jurgen Klopp, is that we were holding the ball, but we couldn't, after the first 2 goals, we couldn't seem to make any penetration. We couldn't seem to do anything with ball. It was Atletico Madrid that was doing everything. But here's the problem for Atletico Madrid, and it comes down again to discipline issue. Now, yesterday's red card, I wouldn't say it was categorically a bad tackle. It was a reckless tackle. He high boots in the guy's face. Red card. There's nothing. It doesn't matter whether you meant to do it or you didn't mean to do it, which is why I also understood when Jurgen Klopp said at the end of the game it was unlucky, because even he, if you remember 2 seasons ago where Sadio Mane raised his boots high against Manchester City's Ederson, red card, he went up. And Sadio Mane couldn't believe that he had gone off for that kind of thing. I was like, it was just a mistake. But it's a red card. Yeah. That's exactly what happened to Antoine Griezmann. Now, Antoine Griezmann is the one that scored the 2 goals that brought them back into the game. So to lose such a player in such a game on such a day
at such a time,
it was a huge deal for them. But still, even 1 man down, Liverpool wasn't really making any headway until they got that penalty that Mo Salah eventually scored. So kudos to Liverpool. They did the hard work. It's not every day your football will be pretty. But what's important for big teams is that on the day you need it, you must get your 3 points. And so they got their 3 points. Atletico Madrid would feel hard done by, because they also got a call for penalty. So people would give that penalty. But VAR told the referee that, look, maybe you want to join us and look at this thing again. And then the referee looked at it and changed his mind. So it was a tough night for Atletico Madrid, but it was a beautiful night for football. And I agree with Jurgen Klopp. Getting 3 points to win 3 points to all these 3 points.
It's all 3 points. It's the numbers that matter. Speaking of the numbers game, let's take a break. We'll be back after this.
This is a Juicy the Engine. And you're listening to
Sweet. Very, very nice.
Oh God, I'm so cold.
I know. It's actually cold in the studio.
I'm telling you, this equipment code is not working for me.
It's not the kind of cold you need.
Man, so I was so happy today. No. When I was watching it, I was just like, this is everything I dreamed of about for LIS, and these people are. So it just shows you that you're not crazy. You're not just. You're not plucking this thing out of the air. You're actually plucking it.
You're aligning with.
Yeah, just thinking, because it's what I was saying, and yes, I don't have as big a team as the ESPNW women. I mean, they have the whole ESPN working behind them. But it's exactly what I'm saying that they're saying. These are things we have to do. We can't just be crying, oh, give us. You have to take some things. So you have to do some things to take some things by force. So I'm really impressed on that hand. Hello everybody. Stop listening to my inside secrets about ladies in sports conference.
Listen.
Oh, you can listen and especially bring some money, because we need money. Bring some money for women's sports. I'm so cold.
Coming to the Federal Palace, Victoria Island from the 4th to the 7th of November, Artex Lagos is bringing the very best arts by over 110 artists from 25 countries from Africa.
Oh yeah, so we'll do this. We'll open the phone lines for
Buy your tickets on artexlagos.com now. All social distancing protocols
For Manchester United
Artex
match
Lagos is proudly sponsored
tonight.
by Access.
So that's what we're going to do. So people on YouTube, how are you doing? I don't know what to say to you. I feel happy, not just about what I was telling you earlier, but also about my face. Can you see my face? See how smooth it is? I wanted to tell you a secret, but it may feel like I'm selling a product. But go and get Zaron serum. I swear to God, that serum, it makes your skin like baby bottom. I say, look at my face. Nothing. It's smooth. And they, remember they gave us the product. They gave us the whole bag. And I'm not that kind of person that wake up when they use toner, use hair, but that serum that they gave us. Oh my goodness. So that's the secret I can share with you. I know some men will say that's women's problem. See my face smooth. I'm walking around without makeup and shame is not catching me. So go and get your Zaron.
We're talking about. And to be that connected, you need a reliable partner like
All right.
That's right. With Airtel Business,
Let's look for her.
enjoy reliable.
Where's our YouTube people? I've not even seen anybody. I've not even seen any comments.
24/7 dedicated care lines. Contact Airtel Business at ng.airtel.com today.
The referee didn't rob Atletico now.
I bet you think this is going to be one of those ads where someone says, introducing to sell some new improved product to you.
But we
Okay.
feel there are more important things in life, like driving carefully on rainy days to avoid
I'm so
splashing water
cold,
on
man.
pedestrians.
Or stopping to help someone change
I
a
don't know
flat
why I
tire.
didn't bring my. Let me go and get my
What
jacket.
really matters is being the
Tobacco.
change.
Yeah, don't worry.
To the Yellow Label tea. Awaken to what really matters.
This is Chef Jeff 3000. Don't touch that dial.
Because you are listening to Ayo and Valentine on the Smooth Breakfast right here on Smooth 98.1.
So glad to know that you're there, sticking around with us here on Smooth's Breakfast. Well, you're listening to the Locker Room 981. I'm in the locker room with Tega, and it's warm and cozy.
They know they tell person.
I'm telling you. Chimobi Victor stepped in from Alaba International with this message. Good morning, guys. Truth be told, the referee succeeded in robbing Atletico Madrid with that red card that was never a red card, because the same incident happened in that Porto versus AC Milan yesterday, and Ibrahimovic was the culprit, and the referee gave him a yellow card.
Two wrongs don't make it right. That's a red card. There was no robbery there.
Emeka Nelum from Amoa says, as regards the Griezmann red card, Griezmann had his eye on the ball, so that red card was unwarranted. Highest red card. I'm using the same analogy used by English referees not to give MacArthur a red card after clearing Saka off the ground in Arsenal's last
Again,
match.
that was a poor decision. That doesn't make it right. MacArthur should have seen card. It doesn't matter where Griezmann was looking. So again, you have to understand that reckless endangerment is not necessarily is usually not intentional. So you may not have intended to do it, but it was reckless of you. He had no control of what the outcome. So it's how do I explain it to you now? If I use something else, it will be so harsh. But it's the closest I can think of now. Maybe I will think of another excuse. It's like driving under the influence.
Yes.
You don't intend to kill anybody. You just
But-
intend to drive and go home.
Exactly, but,
But-
you drank
You
knowingly you drive.
So you drank and you knowingly drove. So that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Paris
So whether
is-
his eye was on the ball,
Oh.
or his eye was looking up to God, his leg was reckless.
It happened. Now, Paris Saint-Germain were rescued by their superstar attack as Lionel Messi scored twice and Kylian Mbappe played a starring role for the French side, who came from behind to beat RB Leipzig 3-2 in the Champions League on Tuesday. Mbappe was quoted as saying, "It is true that we must do better for the moments that we are not playing well, but we are winning. We don't need to say anything more about the quality of Kylian and Leo," insisted PSG coach Mauricio Pochettino. "In games when we are struggling to find solutions as a team, that is why you need players of their class."
The problem is that it's not that they are struggling in certain games to find a solution as a team. They're struggling in every game to find a solution as a team. It's the brilliant individuals that stand out, and that's a huge problem for a team like PSG that have huge ambitions and spent money to back up these ambitions. And Pochettino really is not coming across as the guy that can take the team to the promised land. He's not playing that team right. He's the way it is with the players he has in every position, he shouldn't be struggling to get results. They don't need to be grinding out results on NBA, and they're not even playing football that is remotely pretty. At the end of the day, it came down to the individual brilliance of these players, and that's the problem with PSG. You look at this PSG team, and it's not a team. So and Pochettino has had so much time, he can't be saying certain games. It's every game now you're grinding out results. Whether it's against Angers, whether it's against Leipzig, whether it's against Manchester City, you're just grinding out these results. But because the results are coming, there's not much anybody can really point to. Yeah. So basically, I don't know how to say this in English. How do they say they're doing wuru wuru to the answer? How do they say it? What? I don't know how to say it in English. You know when you do math
around the details.
You know how you're doing. You know how you're doing mathematics. The answer is correct, but the process is wrong. But the calculation is wrong. That's exactly what PSG is. So if you're marking WAEC papers for theory, and the answer is correct, but the steps are wrong.
They specify in instructions, show working.
Yeah.
Because you get points.
Yeah, you get points for the working. So everything is wrong. So that's exactly what it is. The answer is correct, but the steps are wrong. And that's what PSG to the answer. I don't know the English one. If you know the English one for to the answer, send it to us. Send us a message on WhatsApp.
0809 444 0988.
But that's basically what they're doing. So you spend that much money, and it's a struggle. So PSG, again, Pochettino hasn't done right by this team. He's struggling with this team that he should easily be thriving with. So it's a huge problem. But I think as long as he's getting the results, maybe the owners are not going to be bothered. But if I were the owner, I'd be shopping for another manager now. Yes, and the first interview that the manager will have is he'll tell me how this team will play.
Right.
Exactly.
Atlanta coach Gianpiero Gasperini said on Tuesday that Manchester United are not in crisis and will be ready to produce a reaction to their poor recent form when they face his side in the Champions League today, Wednesday. They will have a big reaction in front of a large crowd. This is another competition. It can happen that you have a bad run at the start of the season. Gasperini was quoted as telling the news conference on Tuesday. So we're facing a great team. I don't think they're in crisis or in trouble because they lost one game.
Okay, so this is an interesting deal now. Him not thinking that Manchester United is in crisis is a good way to approach the team. Yes, and he's absolutely right. The fact that they lost against Leicester City doesn't guarantee that they'll lose against Atalanta today. And so he doesn't want to give his players any hope. Say, look, we'll play our football. Whatever Manchester United has, let them have it. We'll play our football. Because you don't know which day they might turn it on. Saturday could have been an aberration. Again, that's another team that the manager is a little questionable, because again Saturday it was glaring that tactically Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was lacking, but today he may get it right, and you don't want to base your victory or your approach to the game on what is happening at Manchester United. You have to approach it with your team being 100% ready and 100% mentally strong. So yes, regardless of what you say, they're still Manchester United. Regardless of what to say, they still have big name players that can turn up results any time of the week. So it is important for Atalanta to face Manchester United as Manchester United, the team that has won several Premier League titles, even if they have not won any recently. The team that has won the Champions League before, even if they have not won it recently. Just face it as a big team, because they will change it for you on the night. And you don't want to be stunned, caught like a deer in the headlights.
I know.
So I like the way Atalanta is approaching it. It's just one game that they lost. We don't want them to bounce back against us. That's right. Very hurtful.
Pascal comes in with a meaning or translation. It says, "Wuru is skimming." Thank you, Pascal. And another from YouTube, Ladakbo Tinioye. Thank you so much for watching on YouTube. Aladapo says, I think Wuru is manipulation in this sense.
That's the absolute. He's manipulating it to the answer, so like he knew the answer, but he now walks backwards. I like the way he said it. Aderoba, yes, I just saw your message.
So Aderoba says, Aderoba LK says the red card was a red card, but I believe Atletico Madrid should have been awarded the penalty. It was similar to that awarded at Liverpool. Thank you so much. Kunle says, I'll be a gentleman and give Tiger your shirt. Why? wants me to off my shirt in the studio. Ibrahim Hassan says, Tega, please just stick to sports. Advert is not for you. And B says, making the evidence fit the crime.
See, I like this. See why I like locker room people.
Our head is there.
The head is there.
Yeah, Chimobi Victor from Alaba International says, good morning, guys. Congratulations to PSG, Manchester City, Liverpool, and Real Madrid for their victory. It was a goal galore in the UCL. Wishing my Dynamo Kiev the very best against Barcelona. I want to see them play in the Europa League this season. I want to check something. Romelu Lukaku, in other news, is mentally tired after being overplayed. Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel said on Tuesday, as the club's record signing seeks to end his frustrating goal drought. Tuchel, speaking ahead of Wednesday's Champions League match against Swedish side Malmo, said his players were still adjusting to having Lukaku in the team. This will increase every day because we're in the process of adapting to each other, he said. In the moment, in my opinion, I feel Romelu is a bit overplayed.
Well, he's a star player for his club and for his country. And when you pay that kind of money for that kind of player, you will not tell me that they are overplayed. Mentally what? Mentally who? My friend, count the money in your account and get some energy. Okay, but on a more serious note, on the more serious note, if the coach is saying that, then he's probably saying something. Because recently, Lukaku has struggled, and he's playing, high stakes matches for both club and country. You have to remember that the Euros happened this year, and just when they're recovering from the Euros, the UEFA Nations League also happened, and he's the guy in front. He's the focal point of the attack. He's the guy they're looking for. And then you go to his team, Inter Milan, where he won the Serie A with, and then he had a big transfer move to Chelsea, which is a team with the spotlight on it. So yes, there's all of that pressure going to be there. I can't say if he's mentally tired. I can say what it is that form comes and goes. It's class that's permanent. So if he's struggling with his form, it's not. I will not say it's extraordinary. It's not something that hasn't happened before. But the coach is saying he's mentally tired, as if he's the only one playing top class football for club and country. There are many people that are doing that one. But you are giving it name, but it's okay. I just think he's out of form, and he will get back to his scoring form soon. And there is no better game than Malmo to get back against. So you can imagine if he was struggling like this and it was Juventus that was playing, then you know that the struggle is really. But Malmo, chances are he will score.
So it's really struggle. Okay. Cruz says, Chai, I suspect Barca might chop it today. I'm already in severe pains ahead of the match.
They may not.
All right, at this point, we will draw the curtains on this exciting program, the Locker Room 981. Special thanks to everyone on YouTube, and thanks for your messages that you sent on WhatsApp. Tega, as always, fantastic analysis in sports. You can catch her and the work she does with the ladies in sport at LIS.
And my nice skin.
That's right, and a nice skin that you've been bragging about. Share these products now, Cop this soap. Tega Supreme is her handle at LIS International with her work with ladies in sports. My name is Valentino Who. Stick around.
Sporting world never loses
My fresh
because the
skin.
game never changes.
Yeah.
Only the player.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
I beg you, go.
That's a guy by just reminded